Murphy? Mary Jane.
Canning.
Mary Jane Canning. Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake.
That's all right, no.
That's okay. Mary Jane, tell me about the teachers you had at the school.
Well, we had 2 or 3 different ones. And the last we had was Mrs. Wren.
Right.
She was one of the best. I always was very fond of her. And I think I learned more from her than I did for the time I was with her.
Even though I heard she gave you a slap.
Yeah, she did, but I deserved it.
Can you elaborate for us?
I left my book over in front of a girl to copy the sum that I had got right, and she couldn't get it done. And she was a great pal of mine, so I left my book over in front of her, and it was seen happening, and the word was sent on, and when we were letting out for the 5 minutes run, I was called over to
be reprimanded.
Told I did what I shouldn't have done, and I got a very light little slap. I mightn't call it one either.
Yeah, but well, she would only been helpful, anyways.
Well, I thought I was helpful, to my old pal that we were. So she's same pal is a good many years dead.
Yeah. But I suppose if you had to get the sum wrong and she had the same sum, you would have been found out anyways.
Well, I suppose it would.
But you were talking about the other teachers there, ones before Mrs. Wren. Had you teachers before Mrs. Wren?
Yes, we had. We had a Mrs. Morahan. She was a nice person, and also Mrs. Gallagher with the young children down in the other end of the room. And they were all very good. I never had any complaints to find about any of them.
Can you tell me how many was in your class, we'll say, going through from start to finish?
There would be, when I went into the higher classes, can't remember right now because my memory isn't so good in the younger days, but there would be about maybe 6 or 8 in the seat of the young first class ones, and then later on there'd be maybe 8 maybe in the other.
Which wasn't too bad. Some of them had only 3, I think.
Bad. I'd say that too.
Yeah.
Yes, surely that there was different classes like that was smaller, and just as the years went on, they seemed to get a bit just a little.
I'm sure, Mary Jane, you met people that you hadn't met in a long number of years.
I have met quite a number of people, which I'm sorry to say that I didn't even know them or remember them, that I should have remembered very well. But it's my memory I have to call that because I'm not so good.
Yeah. But it's not easy, obviously, to people.
Not when you haven't seen people in a good while. That's it, like.
And you'll be back for the next one, no doubt.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm afraid it's coming too near hand now.
All the best. Okay.
I'm 84.
Well, thanks a million. Okay, thanks a million. Bye-bye, Mary Jane. Thank you. Glostermin National School. Can you tell me, Nancy, from what years were you attended school there?
1952 to 1960. I finished in 1960.
10 years before it was closed.
Yes, that's right.
And did you meet this weekend many people that you hadn't seen maybe since then?
Yeah, I did meet some that I haven't seen in years and years and years, yes. I met Jenny Murphy and Jenny Murphy. I met, who else did I met? I met Betty Murphy as well. Yeah.
These would be people that possibly had left this country and emigrated.
Yes, but they still come back, regularly on holidays. Yeah.
I suppose with modern travel now as it is, it's easy.
Yeah, it's quite easy to come and go. I remember when Betty Murphy went to America and came home, and we were still in the National, and we were like amazed at hearing her stories about the ship and our big trunk home with her and storms and things like that at sea. Yeah.
Obviously, this has been a great success for the committee. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely fantastic success. Like, everybody is back here again this evening in the school, still back viewing. We don't want to finish.
Back for more, huh?
Back for more. We don't want to finish, no. The only thing that's missing this evening is the cup of tea.
All right. Well, you're not so bad, I suppose. I got a lovely meal here yesterday.
Yeah, it was a fabulous success, yeah.
Thanks very much, Nancy, for talking to us, and I hope maybe you'll be back again for the next reunion, whenever that may be.
Okay, thanks very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
School reunion. Mary, coming towards the end of what is, I suppose, an extremely successful weekend. Everybody enjoyed it. Are you happy with everything?
Absolutely delighted and thrilled to bits that it went so well, and my wildest dreams were not fulfilled. I woke up yesterday morning thinking, what if nobody turns up? But when I came here yesterday, and my job yesterday was to give out the badges, the name badges, and as I was sitting at my little table along with my colleague Jimmy Joe, it was just like a dream come true to see people actually walking in the drive, and everybody in such good form and really enjoying themselves, and it was just absolutely wonderful. And I'm glad that everybody enjoyed themselves. I'm glad that the good Lord provided us with extremely good weather, considering it was raining everywhere else except in Fina. So all in all, wonderful, and hopefully we'll be able to have maybe a little annual event made from this.
So you're thinking about the next reunion already, Mary?
Indeed, I am indeed, and I'd like to think that we could be able to have an annual gathering maybe this time every year, when, granted, not as many people as are here this weekend will be able to be there, but it would be nice to get together and keep the momentum going.
You obviously worked extremely hard as a committee, because it can be seen in the amount of work that was done both here in the church today and yesterday in the speeches, so I'm sure you're quite proud.
Yes, I have to say we had an extremely wonderful committee to work with, and it has been a joy and a pleasure to work with them, and everybody put their full weight into what they were asked to do and gave 100%. So can I say thanks to everybody, especially all the people that had to travel from far away. I think especially of Angela, that had to come from Dublin, and Sister Helen made so many journeys here, there and yonder, trying to round up addresses and people and different things, and it's just been a pleasure to work with them.
Well, Mary, thanks very much and congratulations once again.
Thank you very much, Enda.
Reunion over the weekend. You enjoyed it, Jared?
I did indeed. It was very impressive. I was in Glostermin School up to 1967, and it was really great to come back and see all the people that I haven't seen in a long time. I'm away from Leitrim now, and I'm sort of beginning to lose touch with some of the people around, and the exhibition and the people and all the material that was put together has been really very good and brought back a lot of very happy memories to me.
A lot of people have said it, but it was great to see your mum out yesterday.
It was. I think that made a big difference for a lot of people, because she was the obvious common link for so many of us, and she had been teaching in the school for so long. She is in bad health, but she was able to make it for a few hours, and she was able to recognise quite a lot of the past pupils when they came to her, so I think it made it very special.
So I suppose that's nearly coming to an end now, and obviously for everybody, the committee itself, you'd have a lot of praise.
Oh, indeed. There was an awful lot of work put into this in tracking down the people. They went back all the way to trace every last person who was still alive who had been here, and getting them all together, getting together all the material, the registers, the old books, the various bits and pieces that are on display here. It's actually very well put together, and you don't ever see all the work in these things, and I'm sure there was many long hours of effort and thought and hard work in putting all the stuff together. It really was first class.
Jared, thanks very much for talking to us.
Okay, thanks indeed.
To give us a final few words.
Paddy Doherty.
Paddy, and how long were you in Glostermin school?
I was in Glostermin school when I started when I started off in Glostermin school, and I've worked there up to 5th class, and I went to Fianna school then after 5th class. So I had a good experience in Glostermin school, and I had great relationship with the people I went to school with, the boys and girls in my class, and there's just a small few of them here today. And I was glad to meet them, Gerard Conifrey and Bernadette Keegan and the very Annette Murphy and all, and the people I knew very close and very friendly with, and had great to meet them on this occasion.
So you would have finished up around 1970?
Yes. Yeah.
And you met a number of people, you mentioned them. Is there anybody here that you wouldn't have seen really since you left school?
Well, I wouldn't have, Bernadette Keegan now, because I wouldn't have seen her since I left school. Since I left that school, there's so many years, and it's just so nice to see her again. And that's, I told her the other day that she had never changed a bit, only looked better than ever.
Very good.
Very nice.
There's a number of people from abroad. Is there people that would say that are, where would the person be the farthest away that you've seen here today? From America, England?
I wouldn't be familiar with most of who are here now would be more senior to me or else coming behind me. You know, more gone ahead of me in the school. But say, as I said, the small group that I would be associated with. And it was privileged, small few and privileged few, which I have named there.
Did you get to see Mrs. Rinn here yesterday?
I did indeed, and I was privileged to have my photograph taken with Mrs. Rinn, and I was glad to see her. About 2 years ago, I had myself and one of my children called down to the house to see her in the house, and and she knew me at that stage, and I was delighted when I think back now that I did visit her, and that today or yesterday that when I did have my photograph taken with her, she remembered me all right, and I felt that I had that connection there with her, and I was privileged to have had one of my pupils in the same class as me, Bernadette Keegan, pictured along with one of us each side of her.
Very good.
I felt very good about that.
Very good. Well, look, thanks very much, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of what's left of the reunion.
Okay, a beautiful occasion.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sister Helen's one of the organising committee. We're just trying to figure out what you finished up in 1970, one of the last pupils.
That's right, yeah. Actually, the last 6 months I spent in Fianna School. The school closed down and we moved to Fianna for the last 6 months.
You were a classmate of Paddy's. He spoke highly about you there, Paddy Doherty.
Actually, I think it was a classmate of Gerald Conifrey. I don't know if Paddy was in the same class as me, but we were obviously all in the same room anyhow. So I think, yeah, maybe Paddy was in the same class, exactly the same class, yeah.
So there's a lot of people that you met that you hadn't met, would say, since nearly that time, is there?
Oh, yeah, it has been absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's been really great. The last 2 days have been fantastic. Met everybody.
I'm sure a lot of your family obviously went to the school. Are they all back, or is there any of them missing?
Everyone's back except one. Antoinette couldn't make it because she's in San Francisco and she's coming home for a friend's wedding in September, and she just couldn't make it. So two things close together. Other than that, we're all here, all 10 of us.
And I see you have some of your own family. Obviously, the oldest, what's your oldest child now?
The one and only.
So what does she make of all this reunion?
She had a great time. She loves being around her cousins and everything, and she really likes seeing outdoor toilets that we use. We went up to see the school yesterday evening, you know, the old school where Mr. Banbury let us in. And yeah, we had a great time up there, and just seeing my name in the register and all that sort of thing. No, we had a great time. Really enjoyed
The school obviously has changed a lot, but anything at all that'll remind you of it?
Well, the outdoor toilets and I suppose the schoolyard was exactly the same and that sort of thing. But other than that, no, I wouldn't actually remember. I mean, it's changed so much I wouldn't recognise it as the same place, really, you know. But of course, seeing all the old familiar faces and everybody, we all had the same experiences nearly in school, so it was really great to meet everyone.
I'd say a lot of the faces, would you have recognised them without having to be told who they were? Or would you?
Actually, I would. And especially I recognise their children out of them because, of course, you remember what the children look like. That's when I see all the children around, I say to myself, oh yeah, that must be, you know, Annette Murphy's child, or that must be the O'Neills or someone like that, you know, I recognise the people out of it. And, of course, Paddy Doherty came to me first straight away yesterday. I actually wouldn't have recognised Paddy, but he really, yeah, he certainly recognised me, and he was round chatting to everybody. Tommy, that's right. Tommy, yes.
Yeah, that's your husband, is it?
My husband, yeah, but he didn't go to the school. He's from Ballinamore, so yes, he's certainly.
Go to Ballinamore to get the man. Isn't enough of them around Glostermin?
No. Actually, I had to go to Dublin to meet him, but however, yeah, that's it. So,
Thanks very much, Bern. Thanks for talking to us.
Okay, all right.
Betty Murphy. Betty, you were from New York, isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were obviously a past pupil of Glostermin School. Can you remember the years you were there between?
I went to school when I was 6 years old, 1941. Yes.
And you were there till, I suppose?
I was there till I was 14 with Mrs. Wren.
And do you come home regularly to this part of the world?
Almost every year.
And is there many people here today that you've met that you wouldn't meet on a regular basis when you come home?
I'm just meeting everybody today, and I'm wondering how they know me, but I forgot that I had my name on my jacket.
That's right, it's a giveaway, isn't it? Yeah. Obviously, have you reared a family in New York?
Yes, I have my two daughters. Yes, one.
Do you ever tell them about the one teacher school in Glostermin?
Oh yes, they know all about it. My two girls are married now. One has a little girl, she's 12, and she's a champion Irish step dancer. And she hopes to be dancing here in Ireland maybe next year.
We did some lovely dancing here yesterday at the school in Fina.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. It was just like I was wishing Kristen was here. Right. She's dying to come to Ireland, herself and Anne-Marie. Right. The two of them are in the dancing. Right. So my daughter, you know, she's hoping that they'll make the trip. Her husband is a police officer in Nassau County, and they have two more. They have 4 children altogether. So she thinks they'll make the trip soon. Right. Especially if Kristen wins, you know, they're doing, they're going to have... You know, they're having some competition in the end of the summer. And of course, they're thinking she's going to win.
Yeah. So did you travel here to this reunion on your own, or have you company with you?
Oh, yes. I came with a friend, and I stay with my sister May in Roscommon, and I also stay with my sister Patsy in Leitrim. So I'm back and forth. And it's great. See, I'm just